So are dropshippers being sued, or is this just some big elaborate scam? We're going to find out in this video. I'm going to go over everything we know about what's going on and what we don't know. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Paul. I run a website, Dropshipping Titans, where I teach all about eBay dropshipping. And I'm also part of the eBay dropshipping community. And I've been seeing some posts in some groups on Facebook, some Facebook groups about eBay dropshipping, that some dropshippers, other people, have received notification from PayPal that their accounts are being were frozen because there was a lawsuit being brought against them. And this is the information that we have about it so far. At first, we weren't sure if this was a scam or not, but it does appear to be legitimate, and I'll show you why I believe that. So I'm going to share my screen here and then show you everything that I have found here, and also pull up the live chat so I can talk to you guys. So first, this was what somebody sent me. This was the actual complaint. In this case, as you can see, this is a company, and they sued Doe's number 1 through 166. Doe's, they just put there, it covers a whole bunch of people that they don't know who the names of the people are. John Doe's and Jane Doe's. And later on, once they discover the names, they can put the actual names inside the complaint. This is something that is allowed under certain circumstances, and it probably is allowed here. So what they're alleging in this complaint, this was brought by basically two companies. Well, I think it's really one company that has two brands, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not entirely sure about that. So it's a brand that sells their products on Amazon. These are primarily LED products. I think one of the products is like an LED light for your toilet, for instance. So they sell them on Amazon. They're based in China, sell them on Amazon through Amazon's FBA. And then a bunch of eBay dropshippers took those items and dropshipped them onto eBay. So the company is now suing all those eBay dropshippers, and not all of them, but some of them, claiming, and when you go through the complaint, you'll see what the complaint is that they are alleging that these are counterfeit items. Now, these are not counterfeit items because, as we know, the dropshippers are getting them directly from Amazon FBA, and Amazon is getting them directly from this company. So they are not counterfeit items. They are just being dropshipped from Amazon. But this company doesn't know about dropshipping. It can't make this connection. So they're assuming that they're counterfeits, and they brought this complaint for that reason. Now, looking at it, you'll see that this was brought in federal court in Illinois. That is because this district is easier for plaintiffs, the company, to bring a suit like this and to get the judgment that they need to freeze people's PayPal accounts. So that's how it's not even a judgment. It's just when this complaint is brought like this, there will be a freeze on the PayPal account. So this is a very plaintiff-friendly jurisdiction. So a lot of litigation happens in Illinois in the federal court there. And it will happen in federal court because this pertains to copyrights and trademarks and patents, which is federal law. That's covered under federal law as opposed to state law, which is why it's being brought in federal court. That's basically the gist of it. Here's the name of the company, Comwin, and I thought there was another one, but I don't think they actually mentioned it in the complaint. And if you scroll down to the bottom, this is the attorney's name, Wei Chen. This was filed on July 24th. It's now August 25th. I looked up this gentleman, his bar license number in Illinois, and this is a real attorney. He's licensed in Illinois, or the federal court in Illinois, but he does live in China. I didn't really find much more information about him because this is a pretty common name. So then what I found was an updated complaint, because if you see this one at the top, this is the docket at the top, and it has a case number but no docket number. which is assigned by the court, or anything further like that. But if you look at the updated one, this one actually has a judge's name and a magistrate's name. A magistrate is sort of like a judge, but they don't have as much power as a judge. And a lot of times in federal court, before you see the judge, you'll see a magistrate. And the reason for that is because the judges are just so busy that the magistrates are assigned the cases to try to dispose of them before they get to the judge, so that things can be weeded out that don't need to be before a judge, because a lot of these things end up being settled. So this actually has a judge now and a magistrate assigned, which means that things are moving forward. And you'll see that they have updated the caption here with more defendants, a couple of more that they added in. So like I said, I looked up the attorney. They are admitted to the Illinois Supreme Court. I guess I didn't check for the federal court, but they are based now in China right now. So then I saw inside of a group chat about people who were impacted by this, who received this notification from PayPal. And that's the way that people were notified, was through PayPal letting them know. Somehow somebody got in touch with this particular eBay dropshipper, and a different attorney sent them this email that's all about settlement. They said, please find the attached evidence of the infringement of a different brand, the Ulavito, which is a different brand. So in order to reach a settlement, please provide this information: your company name, the name of your store, government ID, accounting of all your sales, and supplier information, documents evidencing it, and best regards. This is a different lawyer, L. Ford Bannister II, Law Office of L. Ford Bannister II, here in New York, where I live. So I looked up this guy, and he's real. His name is Larry Ford Bannister II. That's him. And I looked him up in New York's attorney database, and he is a registered attorney here, as well as in the Federal District Court for Illinois. So this makes sense. He's licensed in the federal court in Illinois. And in reading about him, he is like a intellectual property attorney. He does a lot of these trademarks, copyrights. So he became admitted there in Illinois. He actually made a post about it on his Facebook group, saying, in order to best serve my clients, I'm now admitted to practice before the federal district in Northern Illinois. A large portion of the trademark infringement cases in the U.S. are brought in this district, which is kind of what I was talking about before. So yeah, and a little more about him. I know he represents a lot of companies from China. He does speak Mandarin fluently, and he actually has a YouTube channel as well, but just with a couple of videos on there. So this does appear to be legitimate from what I can see. Everything is kind of makes sense in there. It looks like it's actually real, just basing it off of what I've seen and the fact that these attorneys are real. But like I said before, what's the real issue here is that these companies believe that these are counterfeit goods. That's what the complaint says. The complaint's not complaining that they use images or descriptions, which we would see a lot with a Vero violation, for instance. That's not what they're complaining about here. They're complaining that we're selling counterfeit goods. But the dropshippers are not selling counterfeit goods. They are simply reselling the goods that they're buying from the actual company. So if this does end up going to court, you can pretty much assume how the argument is going to go. Now, I do want to say that this is just general information that I found. This is not legal advice at all. This has not impacted me. I don't have an attorney-client relationship with anyone who received one of these letters. I haven't even spoken directly with anyone who received one of these letters. I just indirectly got information from them. So this is not legal advice. This is just general information about what I found, and you shouldn't follow this as legal advice. This is, again, just some general information. So that's what I found. And because they're complaining that it's counterfeit, and they're coming directly from that company, you can kind of imagine how the lawsuit would end up once it appears before a judge, if it comes to that. Now, I do have a resource for anyone who did receive that message. There is a link. It's the first link in the description. The guys over at Zeek Analytics really on top of this and are determined to fight this for dropshippers. So if you fill out that form, they promise they're going to contact an attorney for you and kind of get an attorney who specializes in this area of law. This is not the area of law that I know much about, to be honest. So they promised they would do that if you fill out the first link underneath this video, but only do that if you received a notification from PayPal like this. And I also left the names of both the companies inside the description. So if you have any of their products inside your store, you might want to delete them just in case, because it's really not worth the hassle. So let me see who's here, if anyone has any questions about this or further insights that I might have missed. Nancy Ross says, that's what you get when you sell toilet lights. Ha ha ha, yeah. Okay. We'll go to live chat and make this pop out. Let's see. And Model Supply says, I wonder if it's a Chinese company. It is a Chinese company, but this Chinese company does have patents here in the United States. I think they might even have a company, an LLC formed in the United States. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all I found about it. I know a lot of people, I also want to discuss something else for a minute, because I know a lot of people were having a lot of questions about, their sales recently. Some people saying that, their sales aren't doing as well, and people were asking me how my sales were and my impressions were. So let me just share my screen again. I took a screenshot this morning. These were my sales this morning. This is just for August, so we still got 5 or 6 days left. So I should again hit 100K this month for eBay dropshipping. And people were asking about my impressions, but those have been pretty consistent as well. If anything, they got a little better, but not much. So yeah, if for anyone who's struggling, if you keep listening and keep going, things are still working. Sales are still coming through. And we continue to list every day inside of our eBay store. And we're also going pretty heavy on Amazon dropshipping now as well. That's something we've really been pushing the last week or so, trying to get some extra listings up in there, just to diversify things. But eBay dropshipping is still going really well with that. So what I can offer you guys in terms of anyone who's worried about what's happening on eBay with this lawsuit is, like I said, because these people aren't selling counterfeit goods, you can kind of take that for what you will, that what the complaint is saying is not true, first of all. And second of all, these things might happen sometimes, but a lot of us have been selling for a really, really long time, and we see this happen only very, very rarely. And what we see more often is people actually changing their lives by learning to make money online from anywhere in the world. So I know I'm going to keep doing it, and I know a lot of people are as well. So I hope that answers a lot of your questions. And if you guys want more eBay updates as they happen, anything to do with eBay or eBay dropshipping or Amazon dropshipping, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.